Now look, I'm not a huge gamer, but on Twitter recently, I've seen two projects kind of gain a bit of hype and attention, and I've kind of seen them pop up on giveaways, YouTube, things like that. And that is Sick Ape Society and Project Suisei. Now, the reason that they're getting some hype and attention is because I believe that they've got these demos you can actually play. Now, these aren't closed betas that are just for kind of like influencers or the press or anything like that. These are demos where you can just go to their website, download it and play it. And in Sick Ape Society's case, actually just play it on your phone. Now, I think this is good because this is where NFT gaming is kind of heading, where teams actually do have an MVP, a minimum viable product. They're able to show off their skills and actually kind of show you what they're doing. So I kind of want to jump in, play them a little bit and explain why I think this path is good when it comes down to what the NFT space needs, when it comes down to NFT gaming, because it can get a good and a bad rap in a sense. Now, what I'm going to do is down below, I've got chapters so you can kind of go to the two different projects, the demos, things like that. And then also my thoughts on NFT gaming as a whole and how it kind of plays into the ecosystem of NFTs and all that kind of thing. Now, look, before I go on, what I want to say is I'm not bringing you these projects to be like, hey, these are the next projects you need to get onto the whitelist for, that they're going to 10x, etc., all of that. I wanted to bring you these projects to show you the way that I'm thinking, the way that I'm evaluating not just NFT gaming projects, but projects overall. The fact is everyone right now is risk adverse. They're kind of trying to either take quick flips or they're trying to just sit on the sidelines and not mint it, or they're trying to just go for those safe plays. And what I'm seeing is the fact that with NFT gaming projects, if they can deliver a minimum viable product, if they can deliver something for us to kind of touch, play, feel, this then lets them build trust with us, the consumer, which then means that we can then be more confident in investing into these projects. But yes, it is risky. You got to do your own research. You should only be moving into things with funds that you can afford to lose. So don't look at this as a way to be like, oh, cool, Nate's talking about these two projects, let's jump in on them. Step back and have a look and go, oh, okay, Nate's looking at them from a position of they're actually kind of delivering in this sense. Here's how they're communicating, here's what they're doing. And I believe that people are kind of flocking to these projects, not because they're doing a whole bunch of whitelist giveaways, not because they're doing that. I think they're flocking to these projects because they're actually delivering something that is rarely seen in the space and actually kind of delivering on a product before it actually goes to market. So please keep that in mind as we continue through the video. Now, first up is Sick Ape Society. Now, Sick Ape Society, 205,000 followers on Twitter, absolutely gunning it, going crazy. Now, this is the game here that I'm referencing here, but I kind of play a little bit of a demo shortly. What they're doing is they're going to have a highly tokenized version of what they're actually kind of doing within their project. So the idea is like a lot of projects will have a token that you kind of get from staking or whatever, but the idea with Sick Ape Society is that they will be using the game as a way to kind of earn more tokens so you can kind of do a little bit more. So they are doing 4,700 as a supply, and the idea is that there's going to be sort of 1,600 NFTs for the pre-sale, 1,600 for the public sale, and those are at sort of 0.05, 0.07, and then there'll be 1,500 mints for the OG members that have minted previously. So it's a good way to kind of do a free mint meta, but then also get people to buy in, sort of buy two, get one free kind of ordeal. Now, the idea is the token that they're using is the Liana token, and it's going to be an ERC 20. Then the idea is that holders will be able to kind of play the game and then earn those tokens. The idea is they're going to be having frequent tournaments, and the idea is that the winners will get more tokens and the losers won't get any. And then those tokens will be used within the ecosystem, kind of buy things, buy whitelist spots, do whatever they're going to do, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to jump in and play a little bit now, and I'll talk a little bit more about the game, the mechanics, and how it all comes together. So this is a look at Sick Ape Society's game, and this is on their website right now. You can go over, play a bit of a demo, put in your kind of wallet and high scores, things like that. Now, when I spoke to the team, they were touching on the fact that it's not actually hard to make a game like this. So when you do see a team going, oh, we're going to build a game, and they're trying to build something like this, it shouldn't take too long, as long as you've got competent developers actually kind of within the actual kind of team itself. Now, what I'm kind of liking here is the fact that the team actually have something kind of playable, a demo, and this is on mobile, so I'm playing this on mobile, which is fine, great. It adds to it. The idea is you collect these bananas, they're going to have tournaments, and the winner will then get Liana tokens, which will then go back into their ecosystem. They will not be setting up a liquidity pool for Liana tokens, but I think if they've got a strong enough community, someone may just actually set it up. Now, this is very reminiscent of something like Doodle Jump. If you're kind of one of the early kind of players on for iPhone, and there we go, lost. So the idea is that it does have those vibes. It's very easy, very arcade. It's not too complicated. So it's kind of an easy, low barrier to entry when it comes to what the game is. So that is a look at Sick Ape Society and what they're doing. They're getting a lot of sort of attention at the moment, and I think it's deserved because the fact is you can actually kind of play a game. Now, the next one up is Project Suisei. Now, on Twitter, they've got almost 170,000 followers. Now, with this, they've got an in-depth demo. They've got the 2 demos, and I'll kind of jump into those shortly. Now, they have a supply of 5,555.18 for the kind of pre-list, and then 0.28 for the public sale. Now, I will say that this is a little bit high in this current market, but I don't mind the supply. So this is the open world demo of Project Suisei. There's an open world and a combat demo. And what you can do is you can jump, you can fly. You've also got other combat things, so you can kind of do this attack to kind of attack enemies and stuff. The other thing is you can sort of swap between the different kind of characters itself, which I think is pretty cool. And then overall, the main thing that I like about this demo is it gives you a chance to actually kind of essentially try before you buy. You're not going to end up with a situation like Pixelmon because you're able to kind of actually try something and play something beforehand. It shows you that the team actually kind of know what they're doing. They know how to kind of operate, which I think is cool. And then also, you've got the soundtrack. Soundtrack's kind of all right, is what it is. Now, I'm not a gamer. I'm sort of super casual in terms of what I do and play. This will suit some people, but at least you kind of can jump onto their website and kind of give this a go, have a chance to kind of play it. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. I think that this just shows you that the team actually is executing and they're not just kind of sitting around hoping to raise some money to hopefully do something. They've actually got some skills to actually execute. And drop down here, and that is a little bit of a look at the demo of Project Suisei in the open world version. Now look, when it comes down to a project, usually I like to kind of jump in, look at the team, do a stupid, crazy deep dive on who they are, how they're all connected. But the reason that I kind of wanted to show these off was the fact that they've actually got a minimum viable product. They've actually got something to kind of play and work with. And I'll leave it up to you if that is at a standard that you're happy with at this point in time. The reason that I can almost look past a deep dive on team members and things like that is the fact that if they have actually completed something now, that is almost better than having someone that has worked at DreamWorks, that has worked at Activision. If they've actually got something you can play right now, something you can test, something you can actually kind of look at, touch and feel, then that can give you confidence if you are looking at moving into a project. Now, this will almost kind of play into your thesis when it comes down to the flip potential, if that is your goal and that's what you're trying to achieve. When it comes down to the flip potential, the idea is that you can then have a look at what the game is, what they've got, what they're going to be doing in the future, and then kind of weigh up those odds. You can see if they are closer and they are bringing more attention in, because obviously a playable demo will give more people confidence moving into the project, which means that if you are whitelisted for the project, there may be better flip potential. Now look, the main reason for this video as a whole is that I think everyone can agree the fact that NFT gaming is going to be the future when it comes to sort of buying, selling assets in game. And I think that we're at a pivotal point where we've had so many projects want to launch something and then never get out a demo, never get anything. And if they do, it's too late. The fact is, when a project or a team actually can kind of deliver pre-mint, I think this puts us in a good spot as a whole and as an ecosystem to show where the kind of attention and the good teams are actually moving and funding. Because when I think back about projects like My Pet Hooligan, their demos, their promos, what they were putting out were crazy and insane. And people were like, hey, they've done this before the mint. It was interesting, and that kind of led to something that was very good and wholesome within the space. And I think that moving towards teams that actually have the skills to do it is good, and it should be something that we are essentially rewarding with our attention. Now, I'm not saying that you should buy into these projects. I'm not saying that they're going to be flips. I'm not saying that it's going to do quite well, but as a whole, this is the direction that I want NFT gaming to move towards, which is the fact that people do have demo projects. People can actually kind of use their skills to build something up and not just kind of sell a pipe dream and then kind of extract liquidity, because we have seen that happen in the past with things like Pixelmon, and then even other random projects that I've kind of been in. They've all promised games, they've all promised something, and they never deliver anything. So the fact that they are able to deliver something now gives you a little bit more hope. So that's why I wanted to bring this to you, to show you the fact that there are teams and projects out there that are able to deliver demos, that are trying to build that trust with you and me, the consumer, before we actually jump in and mint, because everyone is very conservative with the kind of bags that they've got now, and they don't want to be kind of speculating too much. They want to preserve their wealth and capital. And I think that this is a big step forward in kind of getting the trust of those people that do believe in NFT gaming longer term. Now, if you found value in this video, please consider hitting up that subscribe button. And while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.